Hello, friends. And today we're breaking down the missing piece in your health journey. You're tired, you're inflamed, maybe you're binging, and then you're right on plan. You feel like you're maybe stuck in self sabotage despite doing absolutely everything right. And this is not a discipline, willpower, laziness issue. It is your nervous system and your body's ability to feel safe in what you're doing. The biggest missing piece in your health, fitness, wellness, lifestyle journey is nervous system work and emotional regulation. Nervous system work, nervous system regulation, whatever you want to call it, is such a buzzword right now, which is awesome. These are definitely conversations that we need to be happening, but it isn't the fluff. Like, this is getting to the root of the issue, and it's not just putting your feet in grass, breath work, being calm and zen and totally high vibe and positive all the time. That is not nervous system work, and we're going to break it down in this episode. What's up? If you're new here, welcome to the podcast. I am Caroline, stoked to be sitting here with you wherever you may be listening to this. I hop on here every week to share my lived experience, life experience, all of the golden nuggets I've picked up along the way to support you in being your happiest, healthiest, most confident self with ways that stick. No more band aid quick fix solutions. All right. So let's get back to it. Talking about what regulation isn't. Like I said, everybody loves to throw around buzzword terms when they are trending. And a lot of nervous system work can be a complete misconception. It can come off as toxic positivity. Like, just be positive all the time, be high vibe, don't let anything bother you, like, don't feel negative dense emotions, like, just sit in the grass and pretend you're fine all day and get some sunlight on your skin and manifest and everything will come to you easily. Yes, sitting in grass and breath work and all of that stuff are important pieces of the puzzle. But having a regulated nervous system, having emotional regulation is not about stillness, it's about resiliency. What is resiliency? The ability to self source from the inside of you, from yourself, safety, calm, in a way that allows you to keep moving forward intentionally, not in like a trauma, stress, or fear response. You've probably been taught along the way by your parents, by society, by school, whatever it is, that your emotions are something to be avoided. Maybe you've been taught to force a fake sense of peace, and that is what is keeping you stuck. Because what it really looks like to be regulated, a regulated body feels everything. It processes and it moves forward. It allows the full spectrum of feelings, no longer labels anything good or bad, or you're invited and you're not invited. It allows them to pass through, and then you tap back into your intention and take steps from there. An unregulated body reacts to everything it feels. It has to numb the uncomfortable feelings. It has to avoid pain and seek pleasure all of the time. Feeling disappointed and knowing how to move through it without spiraling. Feeling uncomfortable and also feeling safe to sit in the uncomfortable pain without having to change it. You know what else regulation looks like? Getting through the day energized without caffeine. Being confident in anything because you are so secure within that you don't care what X, Y, and Z thinks about you. You don't care what you look like. Like, yes, those things are important and you want to feel and look your best. And it is not the determining factor for who you are, what you do, and how you show up. Do you have clear, consistent digestion? Do you get through the entire week without getting bloated? Do you have consistent periods? You do not have crazy PMS symptoms. You do not have wild cramps and pain and it's irregular. None of that is normal. It's just so common that we think it's normal. Do you have a calm, peaceful inner dialogue? Do you return to yourself when you're scared or uncomfortable? Or do you seek outside of yourself with food, candy, drugs, TV, scrolling? There's a gazillion things that we use, right? That is the picture of a regulated system versus a dysregulated system. And a lot of the components of a dysregulated system are so common these days, so familiar in our environment, what we see, what we've been raised with, what we grew up with, what we came into adulthood with, that we think that is normal. And it is not. Because the dysfunction that I just sprinkled on, that is actually a state of functional freeze. So let's break down functional freeze. To set the stage, we are animals, right? We have stress responses in our body. We have two parts of our autonomic nervous system. Autonomic just means you can't control it. We have our sympathetic nervous system and our parasympathetic nervous system. You cannot think your way into either one of these states. It happens with how safe your body feels. Sympathetic nervous system is your fight, flight, freeze, and fawn response. That is the high alert. My only need in this moment is immediate survival. My vision is tunnel visioned on surviving so that I can reproduce. But guess what? There's a 7-Eleven probably a mile from you. There's a grocery store probably 2 miles from you. You have food in the fridge. You have a roof over your head. You're watching this on a device. Saber-toothed tigers and starvation are no longer pressing issues. You could even go dumpster diving to find dinner tonight. However, your brain and your body are still wired that way. So when this sympathetic nervous system goes on alert, becomes the one in charge, your heart races, your blood pressure rises, your thoughts race, you can scan your environment for danger, your non-immediate survival needs shut down, like digestion, critical thinking, emotional regulation, like anything like temperature regulation, things that aren't needed for you to run away and get to safety. Because of our world these days, that sympathetic nervous system has been activated so many times, and you have not been taught how to get back into that parasympathetic rest, calm, critical thinking, I can move forward calmly state. And so almost every single one of my clients comes in, and it's actually like the leading cause of disease and dysfunction in any high achieving woman I know. Functional freeze occurs when you get stuck in that stress response for so long without coming down that your body can't keep up anymore and it shuts down. Because instead of being run on energy and excitement and joy and using your calories for nutrients, your body is running on cortisol and adrenaline. And it takes a lot of energy to keep up that state. And when you can't stay there, you can't stay there for very long. But when your body starts to break down, it kind of goes the opposite. And your body completely shuts down. High functioning people do not see this coming because they are so used to this go, 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 respond, 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 get shit done. I'm the most productive person ever. I'm doing all these things. And then all of a sudden you're dragging through the day. It's 2 p.m. and you can't keep your eyes open. You need 3 cups of coffee to function every single day. You get 8 hours of sleep, but you never feel rejuvenated in the morning. You have stubborn fat that you can't get rid of. Your maintenance calories, suddenly you're gaining weight on them because your body has been stressed for so long. You have never integrated regulation into your day-to-day, and it has tapped out, and you are now in a state of functional freeze. And I'm not just saying this from the research I've done on it, the education, the courses. I'm coming to this subject with years of personal experience. With chronic fatigue, adrenal dysfunction. I had wild GI symptoms that nobody could figure out. I got a colonoscopy when I was like 21 years old, and there was nothing. I've had the eating disorders to cope. I've turned to drugs and alcohol to take away the uncomfortable feelings. Like the fake energy from caffeine that just kept me going to the gym to get endorphins, but I was really going to the gym just to increase my adrenaline and my cortisol because I was so up here and I couldn't be in my body and I was constantly spiraling, so much anxiety, mental health crisis, health was a disaster. My weight was always fluctuating. I was always stressed. I could go on and on and on about the symptoms of functional freeze. But I want you to seriously consider if you resonate with absolutely any of this, because you are not lazy. You do not lack discipline. Yes, maybe you need some more structure in your life, but you are likely stuck in survival mode because your body and your brain and your nervous system are doing everything they can just to protect you, just to keep you alive. And the outside world tells you that that is a personal flaw. Our world teaches us to work harder when we get into this place, teaches us that we're not doing enough, teaches us to stop feeling that way so that we can get shit done and push through. Our world teaches us that when Tommy says we're doing a good job, when we get that promotion at work, that is actually what matters and defines our success, not our internal safety, well-being, confidence, and health. Because yes, trauma imprints you. Yes, diet culture has imprinted you. Yes, our society is really freaking messed up with a lot of messaging. Yes, you have, I don't remember what the actual number was. I was doing some research on how many ads, like marketing things you interact with a day, and it was like way above 80,000. You come in contact with over 80,000 advertisements that are trying to sell you something by pointing out a flaw in you. And you have gotten so used to it that not only is your system stressed and now shut down, that you're adding more stress on top of it to try to fix it. You have a dysregulated system and you think doing more and punishing it more is going to help. And that is the exact opposite. Emotions, these symptoms, the way that you're feeling, your internal world, what your body is telling you is all golden information, not something to avoid or fix. Maybe it's your stubborn belly fat. Maybe it's your diabetes that keeps getting worse. Maybe it's your endometriosis. Maybe you haven't had a period in 2 years. Maybe you freaking every single Sunday you have to go to bottomless mimosa brunch just to wake up and go to work on Monday. Maybe your kids get home from school and you're immediately so freaking irritable. Maybe you wake up every morning just like pushing snooze 3,000 times because you can't get out of bed. Maybe you feel lonely. Maybe you feel scared. Maybe you're angry at yourself. Maybe you just want to go to the freaking concert without stressing for 10 hours about what your outfit looks like. All of those feelings are true, are valid, are information to listen to. If you are exhausted, an area of your life is depleted, whether that's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. I feel like I'm missing one, social. If you are exhausted, there is a pillar of your life that is depleted and needs to be full before you can show up with a full cup. If you are frustrated, you are misaligned with your true authentic values, wants, and desires. You are trying to force something to happen to prove to yourself that you're good enough, that you're worthy, that you can do it, when in actuality, you don't even care about that thing. You are not in line with your values and your morals and your genuine wants and desires when you feel frustrated. If you have a lot of self-doubt, if you have a lot of internal criticism, if you've ever had like the two voices in your head going back and forth, like, oh, you suck, but I actually did okay. No, you need to freaking do more, but I feel so tired. I can't keep up. If you have that if you have that doubt, that is because deeper down below those voices, there is inner conflict between what you want and what you're doing, what you're forcing yourself to do, and what truly matters to you. A lot of these Band-Aid quick fix solutions cause that inner conflict because on an unconscious level, you want to feel healthy, yet you are engaging in something that is taking that away, actually. But you are so good at changing the way that you perceive things that you pretend that it's going to help. If you feel a lot of shame, if you have a lot of stories of I'm bad, I'm broken, I suck, I'm stupid, you are lacking integrity and you are lacking the action in the areas where you are filling your own cup. You are not showing up for yourself. You have misaligned action. If you have constant anxiety, if your thoughts are always a gazillion miles per hour, you are always priming yourself to notice the danger. Remember those stress responses I was talking about, your sympathetic nervous system? That is exactly what this is. When you are there, your brain gets so used to scanning the environment for the million things that could go wrong, the million pieces of danger, that becomes your baseline. Even in that functional freeze place, your brain is going to pinpoint everything that you've done wrong, everything you said wrong, everything that you could have done better, because it's trying to protect you. And your nervous system and your body hold these stories and patterns until you process them. You cannot positive think your way out of feeling these things. You cannot shove them away. I mean, unless you want to drink and drug your life away, like I've seen some people do until you die, which I hope is not what you're after. There is no way to escape these things. If you truly want to feel confident, healthy, and aligned, if you truly want your healthiest, confident, most limitless body, self, and mind in life to come to you effortlessly, you have to feel this shit, process it, and move forward. And these hard emotions, these uncomfortable things that we don't want to look at within ourselves are actually the biggest portals to healing. When you shove down your emotions and you tell yourself there's something to fix, they just sit there and wait to be expressed. Do you know what disease is in America? Dis-ease. It's when you are at dis-ease with yourself, with your feelings, with your emotions, when your thoughts. How does that show up? Heart disease, diabetes, endometriosis, period pain, metabolic dysfunction, which is absolutely everywhere. Pain, acne, bloating. Those are signs there is dis-ease within your body because you are not allowing yourself full expression. You are not allowing yourself just to be and have an experience and be mad just for the sake of being mad and then letting it go. Because your emotions, like I said, are not problems to fix. They are actually showing you where you are. You cannot outwork, outdiscipline, or out-mindset a dysregulated system. That is why the biggest missing piece in your health journey is emotional regulation and nervous system regulation. True nervous system regulation, not just the stuff that looks good on paper. So I'm inviting you today to start taking these steps, allowing yourself full expression. How does that work? Just acknowledge what is going on, what you're feeling, and do nothing about it. If you are angry, in your head, just say, I'm freaking angry right now. If you have a heavy chest, be like, oh, this is so freaking uncomfortable. I have a heavy chest. If it's Friday night and you're alone at home and you're like, dang it, I'm just lonely. I wish I had friends to hang out with. Allow yourself just to admit that and let it be true. Stop denying yourself an experience. It's only a quote unquote bad, negative, wrong emotion if you use those words. So ditch the labels, allow things to flow. And maybe even once a day, just sit in your car, take a deep breath, be like, what's my body feeling like today? My spine's a little stiff. My throat feels really clenched. Okay. Don't do anything about it. Don't fix it. Because a true emotion, when you acknowledge an emotion without putting a label or a story to it, like, I'm bad, I shouldn't feel this way, it's because of this person, I need to do this to overcome it. If you just feel a feeling, it only lasts 90 seconds and then it's gone out of your body. 90 freaking seconds to let it go, to feel it, hear its truth, and let it pass. Emotions are energy in motion. And when you stop that motion from escaping, it gets stuck. Adrenal fatigue is emotional depletion. Weight gain and Inflammation is your body holding on to everything because it doesn't feel safe enough to let go. So what happens if you start letting go? Gut issues, that is stored tension and unprocessed stress. These things are so linked. And you've probably not been taught this before, so welcome to the freaking hack of your lifetime. The connection with your mind and your body and letting your emotions flow justifies the whole point of this, why nervous system regulation is the starting point. When you deny your unique experience, not only does that create unsafety in your body, but all those unsafe signals get sent to your brain. And then you are now at war with yourself because it's not your external environment or a perceived stressor or financial stress or a saber-toothed tiger that is putting you in that stressed out state, that sympathetic nervous system overdrive. You are putting yourself there. How do you expect your body to feel safe enough to let go of the shit it doesn't need, to process emotions, to be its healthiest, happiest, vibrant, most creative, limitless self, if you do not feel safe in your human vessel? So we're letting everything flow. And this might sound freaking small. You're like, what? I'm just supposed to look at my emotions, feel them? Yes. Just feel something and say, wow, that's interesting. That's probably really true. I do feel that way. But this is the most massive shift you can make. Yes, go put your feet in grass, go on a walk, do the breath work, take the cold shower, sit and meditate, do the yoga, do the stretching, and use those practices to return to yourself, understand what your experience is like right now, and let that be. You don't need to change yourself. You don't need to work harder. You need to accept yourself for where you are in this moment. And it's scary to try something new. I get that. But every time you meet yourself where you're at, and you're like, damn, this is really hard. This is scary. I feel like I'm going to cry forever, or I'm always going to be angry. And then on 2 minutes pass, and you're like, oh, that actually wasn't that bad. I survived that. Every time you experience that, you put a coin in your confidence bin that says, I can do hard things. I invited something hard in and I survived. Wow, I invited really uncomfortable emotions and I didn't go eat a chocolate cake. I'm really freaking proud of myself. Wow, I let myself feel really angry because this douchebag ghosted me after a date and I didn't go need a drink and get drunk tomorrow night with my girlfriends. Every time you do that, you build safety in your nervous system, in your body, in your mind. So those things that you're after don't actually need more force. They just start to align effortlessly because you've set up your foundation for success. And this is exactly what we do inside my one-on-one coaching program, Your Lifestyle Revamp. We clearly uncover what you want, your vision, your goals, the most limitless things you can think of. Find regulation in your nervous system, in your emotions, in your body, in your feeling, in your experience. We let all the shit go from your past. We move forward intentionally, integrating in habits, nutrition, movement, mindset rewiring that takes you exactly there. We look at your blood work, we look at your symptoms. We're like, wow, what do we do with all these pieces? Cool. I'm acknowledging all of this. I'm not shaming myself. I'm not fixing myself. I am just learning and acknowledging so I can do different. Because if what you are doing is working for you, great. Like you're right on path. If you are not in a place where you're like, damn, I am my best self every single day, then you probably need something different. So give it a shot. You have nothing to lose. That functional freeze state, like I talked about, when we're in that stress, we have so much stress that our body just shuts down. It actually turns off your prefrontal cortex. And that's where like your executive function lives. That's where you can consciously, rationally, emotionally meet in the middle and be like, this is the decision I want to make. When that is offline, you are living from your pure animal survival fear brain. And that is not your limitless, most healthiest self. There is a limitless, healthy self waiting for you on the other side of true regulation. And now you know what that looks like, and now you can go do something with it. So I challenge you today to spend like 2 minutes just breathing and asking yourself, what am I feeling right now? How is this day going? What emotions are here? And don't fix, change, problem solve, justify, rationalize anything. Allow yourself to have a raw and real human experience. And before you know it, things are going to shift beyond your wildest dreams. My one on one coaching program does exactly this. And if anything resonates here, even just a tidbit, and you're like, damn, I really need that, apply the link in the show notes, because this is the program that will launch you to that next level, give you the tools for the rest of your life, and it heals from the root. It is not another band-aid solution, quick fix that is going to put more stress and dysregulation on your already shaky, faltery foundation. And if this triggered you, if this stung, if you feel a little wounded right now, lean into that, because that means I am waking up a truth within you that you are dying to accept and follow and listen to. And it's hard and uncomfortable. And I know that. You're a freaking rock star. Keep showing up for yourself. Follow me on Instagram, apply for my program, leave a review, and I'll see you in the next one.